Red Zone Room. We're back. It's the best day ever because Tailgate's not here. We love
Fuck
doing
him.
Tailgate.
Yeah,
Horrible
fuck
human
Tailgate.
being. He's an idiot too.
The worst.
Classic, just week 4 takeaways. Got a lot to talk about this week. I feel like it was kind of a week where we learned a lot more about teams. So we will just start it off with the first game on Thursday night. The Jaguars Bengals take it away. PicknSpreads.
I was impressed with Joe Burrow. Good job, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow has been a lot more than impressive this season than I thought he would. You know, because you heard about it, all the training camp stuff was kind of concerning. Trevor Lawrence had a decent game. I think he had a good game considering his first couple games. I don't really have much to say. I mean, I kind of figured the Bengals would win. I don't think the Bengals are legit contenders, by the way, but I think they're a nice little fun team. Like, they're better than we thought. They're not a bottom 5 team, that's for sure. Maybe bottom 12. Bottom 12 team. I think they're about a bottom 12 team. They have a bit ways to go, but they are a lot further. Like, if they hit on their draft picks from this draft and next draft, I could see them as very sneaky playoff teams. At least the Bengals anyway. That's my thoughts. It wasn't anything crazy. Burrow had a good game. Lawrence had a good game. It was a fun Thursday night game to watch.
Yeah, I actually picked the Jaguars in this one, so I was super excited when they're up 14-0. But classic. But Trevor Lawrence looked good. I'd say at least in the first half, he looked really good. And yeah, I agree with you. Joe Burrow, the Bengals in general, I think are, I heard a lot of Bengals fans, obviously, we're 3-1, we're legit. I wouldn't say you're legit. I would say exactly kind of how you said it. You're a fun little team. I'd say maybe barely top 20. I don't think they're actually playoff. They're not a playoff team.
No.
But they're definitely a lot better than I thought they'd be, seen as I had them at 3 or 4 wins in general. So I was a little off, but I still wouldn't say playoffs. Titans Jets though. Jets with the overtime W over the Titans. Bozos of the week to the Titans. I think it exposed their defense, and that was one of you, me, and Tailgate were all right about that. We said how horrible their defense was. I don't know what you can really say offensively because Julio and AJ Brown weren't there, but it's the Jets though. It's
Not to mention, first game Zach Wilson had more touchdowns than picks.
He actually looked really good, I thought. He did have a bad interception though. That was bad.
That was a bad interception, yeah. I mean, I think Corey Davis slipped, but still, I'm pretty sure that would have been picked either way.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't going to be completed if he didn't slip anyway. But yeah, I mean, it's a little annoying though because 3 weeks he looks horrible, and everyone's going, "Oh, he's a bust," and then he has a good game, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's going to be a star one day." It's well, make up your mind.
It's crazy how
give it some time.
No, I mean, come on, man. You know how people be overreacting. It's crazy. But my thoughts. Ryan Tannehill was not top 10. Stop saying he's top 10 because he is not top 10. I can name 10, maybe 11 quarterbacks better than Ryan Tannehill. Obviously, the top 6, of course, Kyler's better, Dak's better, Stafford's better, Carr's better, and I think you can make a good case that Herbert is better. All those guys are better than Tannehill, in my opinion. Sorry, Titans fans. Sorry, Melo G. Ryan Tannehill is overrated now.
Yeah. I think if you, honestly, it's you could have said he was top 10 last year, but just with the way that all these other quarterbacks have been playing, like Kyler, Stafford, Carr, even Herbert, it's I think I would take them all over at Tannehill. And because, you see what happens when Tannehill doesn't have Julio Jones and AJ Brown, but yeah, embarrassing for the Titans no matter what. And your defense got exposed, so. Go to the Bears 24, Lions 14.
So I picked the Lions to win this game. I was kind of, I wasn't upset that they lost, of course. I mean, it was a bold pick. I get it. Justin Fields wasn't he didn't do much. Like I guess that's just some way to put it. He just kind of threw the ball to Darnell Mooney a lot. And that's kind of it. They didn't really do a ton in that game. It was just that the Lions suck, so the Lions lost this game. Justin Fields was kind of playing. I don't want to say conservative, but they didn't really use him a ton. I'm pretty sure he only had like 18 pass attempts in that entire game. So yeah, Justin Fields was okay. Wasn't anything special. Didn't have a touchdown. Had one pick. Completion percentage of about 60 something. I mean, he was okay, I guess. Lions suck. I don't really know what to think of them because sometimes they look good and other times they look like crap. So I don't really know what to think of them. But what I will say is that they'll end up with the top 3 pick.
Yeah. I'm curious. I'm really curious to see if when Dalton comes back from his injury, if they're going to put him back in the lineup. I think that they will.
I bet they do. Which, by the way, that's going to ruin him.
Yeah.
That's gonna ruin his confidence, I bet.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing happened with Tua. Now I'm not gonna say to compare Justin Fields with Tua, but it's gonna ruin his confidence.
Is there anything out on the David Montgomery injury?
It wasn't an ACL tear. It's not season ending, so that's good. That's
it still looks bad. Like he's got to be missing some time.
I think it said anywhere from 3 to 5 weeks.
Okay. Well,
so that's good. That's I mean, obviously that's bad to hear, but that's good to hear after what we thought. Because I thought it was I genuinely thought that was an ACL tear.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to the Colts 27, Dolphins 17. I'll start on the Dolphins side. I was right about the Dolphins, man. That was one of my good takes in the offseason. I had them at 8-9. So many people, and honestly, I thought that was a little generous because I didn't think that defense was going to be nearly as good as it was last year, and they're not. I thought the offense was getting severely overrated just because they got Jalen Waddle and Will Fuller. People forget that offensive line is bottom 5. I honestly, Brissett's not a huge downgrade from Tua. They're both on the same level, in my opinion. So, and they don't really have any running backs. Not that matters anyway, because the O-line sucks. But this does not look like a good football team right now. I mean, I had them at 8-9, and everyone thought I was an idiot. I really think everyone had them in the playoffs, and I'm not seeing that right now. And then as for the Colts, Carson Wentz looked really good in this game, and overall this year he's looked good. Not like a top 10 quarterback or anything, but a lot better than last year's for sure.
I mean, it's a pretty low bar he set.
Yeah. I mean, that's really all I had to say for the Colts because honestly, the beginning of it, I was frustrated because it was like 7-3 at half, and I was like, "Holy crap, we can't even beat the Dolphins! Like, what are we doing? Like, our offense looked bad." We turned around the second half, but I can't really say I'm too happy or anything just off this game. Didn't show me too much except for Wentz being a pretty damn good quarterback in that game.
Well, I was wrong about the Dolphins, but I mean, I was right about Tua, so happy about that. Tua is a bust. Tua is a bust. He is not talented at all. He is not mega talented. Some Dolphins fan tried to tell me that he has not just as much. Some Dolphins fan tried to tell me that his ceiling is just as high as Josh Allen, and I'm like, what the hell? Like when I saw that comment, like I just smiled. Like I didn't respond. I didn't want to be mean. I just smiled. Like I was like, man, that sucks.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, I think we've been overrating the Dolphins a little bit. Jalen Waddle is nice. Will Fuller is nice. They need to get the right quarterback if they want this offense to succeed. They need a strong arm quarterback who can swing the ball down the field with those deep threats. Because Jalen Waddle is supposedly faster than Henry Ruggs. Obviously, we know about Will Fuller's speed. And then you have a good contested catcher in Devontae Parker. So they need a new quarterback badly because Tua is not a good fit for this offense. Clearly, I mean they have 2 burners, and I think my arm strength and Tua's arm strength isn't so much far apart. So yeah, Dolphins need to get a new quarterback. Colts, on the other hand, looked pretty good. Without Quentin Nelson, was able to play a lot better than I thought. I still kind of figured the Dolphins, well, not Dolphins, I still kind of figured the Colts would win, but I thought it'd be about a 3 or 7 point game. I was wrong about that. Good job, Colts. Yeah, that division sucks, by the way.
Oh yeah, I mean,
It might be
honestly,
worse. It might be worse than the West. Or not the West. It might be worse than the East. It might be. There's a legit good case.
I'd say it's worse in the East just because the Cowboys, to be honest.
Yeah, the Cowboys.
And honestly, I would take all the NFC East teams over the Jags and the Texans. So.
Yeah. I agree.
But I mean, even the NFC East last year, I think it's a close one because even the Titans. I still think I'm right about the Titans. I didn't say that when we talked about that game. I still think I'm right in my prediction of them seeing 9 or 10 wins at best. I think they're a 9 or 10 win team.
Yeah, I feel that.
All right. Browns, Vikings, definitely a weird game. I really am curious if this Browns team is ever going to look like an elite offense with Odell on the field. I'm not blaming Odell. Baker was horrible in the game. They never succeed when Odell is in the game.
You want to hear the thing? They're not going to replace Baker because they're going to win a playoff game. Right? They're going to continue to win because of how loaded that roster is. And they're going to pay Baker. Dude, I pray to God Baker doesn't get $40 million. I pray to God he does not get 40. If he gets 40 million, that is because I was talking to a buddy of mine about it. And at first I'm like, oh, of course they wouldn't pay him that. But then it's like, well, he won 2 playoff games and you know how much that means a lot. And I'm like,
and they don't have the best track record. They don't have the best track record drafting QBs. So
no, they obviously don't. And I mean, next year's quarterback class. I'm not saying the Browns are going to take a quarterback next year, but I mean, I guess we've seen crazier things. But yeah, I pray to God Baker doesn't get paid $40 million.
It's still early. It's still early in the year. It's still early in the year, and you're going to have the rest of the year to look at it. But honestly, I would franchise tag him.
He's just so painfully average.
I'd franchise,
painfully average.
I would, because they're in win now mode, and the money's going to start. Yeah, the money's going to start coming out here in the next year or two. But I would honestly, I think they should let him play this year. Obviously, evaluate him this year. They're going to win a playoff game, and they're not going to have a true reason to go out and get another quarterback because he's going to be good enough. And then I think they should franchise tag him and try to go contend again next year before you run out of money and start having to blow it up.
No, I'm right there with you, but we'll see what happens. But for the game, though, good win by the Browns. It was a hard-fought victory, very defensive game. Baker sucks. The Browns' defense is good. Vikings, get your head out of your ass.
I will say the Browns' defense looks damn good right now. But yeah, the Vikings are supposed to be this 10-11 win team. They're looking like a 6 or 7 win team to me right now.
Their defense is so bad. It's so bad. Like, it's just. I mean, they had a good performance against Cleveland, but of course, when their defense performs, their offense doesn't do jack. So yeah, that was good job, Vikings. No matter what, you're gonna lose.
Okay, let's go over to Washington 34, Falcons 30. I would just like to brag about Cordell Patterson real quick because I think I'm like the only person that started him. And I don't know why I started him, but I looked at my lineup before the game and I was just like, you know what? He's done decent the past 2 weeks. I feel like he can have a good game here. I started him over Brandon Cooks and Cole Beasley. I chose Cordell Patterson and it panned out. So that was insane. Cordell Patterson is that guy. Screw Mike Davis, dude.
So Taylor Heineke, I don't think he's their franchise guy. Don't get me wrong, because I'm a big Taylor Heineke fan. But I think he's good enough for the rest of the season. If Fitz comes back healthy, I'm gonna stick with Taylor Heineke. What the hell is up with that defense, dude? Chase Young, get your fucking shit together, Chase Young.
He looks horrible.
He looks awful. He doesn't have a sack, and he has like only 8 pressures on this season. I'm like, Chase Young, get your shit together, dude. And he's played some pretty bad offensive lines too. Like he played the Giants. He played, hold on, let's think. He played the Giants.
Falcons.
Played the Falcons, got locked down by Rashawn Slater again. I mean, like, Chase Young, dude, you need to get your stuff together. You don't want to be the next Clowney, like, do you? Like, come on, man, get your stuff together.
Yeah, but that defense in general to me looks like
It's so disappointing. It's disappointing because I truly believe it's disappointing because of Chase Young, because we never really expected their secondary to be much. Like, we were so like, oh my God, this defensive line is insane. And everybody's doing their part except for the guy who's supposed to be the best, like by a good margin. And he's been arguably the worst.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to compare it to the Colts O-line, which is, it's honestly, okay, Washington was supposed to be a top 5 offensive line or a top 5 defense, and they're looking like a bottom 5 defense right now, which is insane. And honestly, the Colts were supposed to have a top 5 O-line. I won't say bottom 5 O-line because we've had Quentin Nelson injured. Eric Fisher was out the first game. We've been injured a lot. And we didn't look horrible in the second half of the Dolphins game, but the first half of the Dolphins game, and then we were healthy against the Titans, so we looked good in that game. But the first 2 games and the first half of the Dolphins game, we did look like a bottom 5 O-line. Carson Wentz has been the most hit quarterback in the league. So both of those two things are just crazy to me. Yeah. Jeez,
yeah,
man.
That sucks. That's tough scene. Yeah, Washington, you need to get your stuff together right now because if anything, now is the time to do it. We have almost no expectations for you anymore because everybody thinks Dallas is the king of that division. Go prove them wrong, even though you're probably not going to.
Yeah. All right. Bills 40, Texans nothing. Davis Mills looked horrible. The Bills are back. They're 3 blowouts in a row. Don't really care who they played, the way they did it.
2 shutouts.
Yeah, two shutouts. Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
they look like that's what we were talking about in our group chat earlier. You can put you're going through your power rankings. You got to have the Cardinals or the Bills at 1 right now. I think the Bills are definitely the best team in the AFC right now.
Yes, I think I'd probably put Buffalo at number 1, just because they are just shutting down teams right now. Like they have 2 shutouts in the last 3 games, and I understand it's Miami and Houston. When you shut down a team, it's impressive no matter what. So,
yeah, it's the NFL.
Yeah, and people forget that. I truly believe people just forget that. Like someone tried to like say Kyler is not that good because it was against the Vikings when he threw for 400 yards, and I'm like, buddy, this is the NFL. It is hard to throw for 400 yards, period, against anybody. Even Seattle's defense. Like, come on, dude. I don't think people realize how hard the NFL is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But, I mean, I think that was all I had from that game.
Buffalo is definitely the best team in the league. Josh Allen is back. Josh Allen's been balling out recently. Good for him, by the way, because people are really sleeping on him. And it's kind of ironic how people are saying how much better Lamar Jackson's season has been, when Lamar Jackson has been kind of hit or miss this year. I'm pretty sure he has like 4 total touchdown passes. Now I understand a lot of them have been dropped, and I'll give him credit for that. But even without those drop TDs, he'd still not be as good as Josh Allen right now. Josh Allen's been balling out, showing why he is worth every single penny of that mega contract that he signed. He is worth every single penny, and I'm glad he got paid. Buffalo is horrifying right now. That defense is ridiculous. Their pass rush is slowly coming alive. Their secondary looks good. Yeah. The Bills are scary.
Yeah. If you guys didn't know, we're recording this during the game right now, but it's delayed for 35 minutes because of lightning.
It's delayed. I thought both of the stadiums are inside. It's delayed. That's so weird.
Lightning, yeah. It says 8:55 start. Okay, Giants Saints. I got to start out with this. To be honest, you guys don't have to believe me, but it was Lopes Leeds who posted this and said that the Giants were going to win. And I commented on that before the game, and I said, I don't know why, but I kind of see it. So I didn't pick it, but guys, you guys can relax with the Daniel Jones stuff. I will get around to watching his film. I'm not going to make any comments on Daniel Jones right now because I haven't actually been able to get around and watch his film yet. And I've heard that he's looked like a pretty good quarterback.
Is are good.
But I'm not going to comment on it without forming my own opinion. I don't just take other people's opinions. I need to make my own. So you can stop spamming the comments. I'll get to it, and I will apologize if I do feel like he has looked like a good quarterback, but we'll see. The only thing I will say, though, is shut the hell up about Daniel Jones is top 10 now. Oh, God. Even if he does look like a good quarterback, even if I go down and watch his film and I'm like, okay, this guy's a good serviceable quarterback, top 10 is absolutely effing ridiculous. Don't even start with that. Don't even try. But that's all I'm going to say about Daniel Jones. The Saints also, they're either
They
a
are
great
the
team or a bad.
weirdest. They are the
Yeah.
weirdest team right now. I don't know. Like, I feel like we kind of have a general idea of what each team is now.
Not the Saints.
What are the Saints? Like, I don't know. I don't know what they are. Like, I mean, you blow out the Packers. I'll give you credit for the Carolina game. I'll give you credit for that. Like, you had like 8 coaches out. You lose to them. I get it. And then who did they beat week 3? Shit. Who did they beat week 3?
They beat
Patriots. They beat the Patriots.
yeah.
Beat the Patriots week 3. They beat them down pretty hard. And then week 4, they lose to the what the hell is going on? Who are you? Like, I don't know who they are. Like I mean, it's like I said, we kind of have a general idea of what each team is. Maybe not Vegas, but we're gonna find out Vegas after tonight. I think we'll find out who Vegas is after this game against the Chargers, which is delayed. But
although I will say, I don't want to say it again, but the Raiders looked. I mean, we all know how the Raiders fall off every year. I was a huge fan of the Raiders last year, the first half of the year when they started out 6-3. I got into multiple debates arguing that they were better than the Bills and a bunch of other teams because they did look like they were good, and then they fell off. So I don't really care if they go 6-0. I can't trust them until they get double-digit wins or something like that. I guess you never know.
I'll trust them. I'll trust them if they beat the Chargers.
I won't trust them. I will trust that they I will trust that they look like a damn good team right now, but I'm still worried about that fall off that has happened literally like every year.
I'll trust them because they've had a lot of players break out, which I've been impressed by. Max Crosby looks like the best edge rusher in football right now. Like, you can legit make a case that he is right now playing like the best edge rusher in football. Henry Ruggs looks much better than last year. I mean, Brian Edwards has looked good. I mean,
Renfro.
Renfro's looked good. Casey Hayward's looked good. Like, it's interesting. Now we're finally going to figure out who this Raiders secondary is during this game against a good passing team like the Chargers. So we'll figure it out then. But back to the Saints though. The Saints are weird. They're just weird.
Yeah. Okay, Chiefs 42, Eagles 30.
I'll take it away. So if this team is 2018, this is the 2018 Chiefs. They have one of the worst defenses in the league, and if they want to win games, Patrick Mahomes is going to have to throw for minimum, and I mean minimum, 3 touchdowns a game. He's already in every single game he's played so far this season. And by the way, before I get into this, I'm going to say this, and this is a bit underrated of an opinion. Actually, guys, I mean, obviously I'm a Cardinals fan, so I personally think Kyler Murray is right now the front runner for the MVP. And I only think there's currently one player who's kind of close to him, unless Derek Carr like pops off tonight, because we don't know yet, because the game's not on yet. Unless Derek Carr pops off tonight, I think Pat Mahomes has a good case for the MVP right now. I know the Chiefs are 2-2. I get it. Patrick Mahomes is currently leading the NFL in total touchdowns, every single advanced stat, like all EPA and stuff. He's by far number 1, and it's not close. And Murray's high on those lists too. Like he's consistently top 3, but Patrick Mahomes is like consistently top 3, and he has a lot of number ones as well. But I think Mahomes has a good case to be the MVP. In every single game he's played so far this season, he's thrown for at least 3 touchdown passes, and he just annihilated the Eagles himself because his defense isn't doing him any favors. So he has to do it all himself. And I believe if the Chiefs want to get back to the Super Bowl, because that's what they want to get back to the Super Bowl. If you want to get back to the Super Bowl, Patrick Mahomes needs to go off. He needs to be 2018 Mahomes, but maybe better. Because this defense might be worse than the Chiefs' 2018 defense. Like, this defense is awful. You have no pressure at all. Your linebackers suck, and your cornerbacks are average. Like, I don't really know what to say.
Yeah, the defense looks bad. They've given up 29 points, 36 points, 30 points, and 30 points. 30-plus points a game. So, yeah, Chiefs are going to have to score like 40 points a game. They want to win. And
which they've done it. Here's the thing.
Yeah,
they've done it before.
Yeah.
They did it in 2018, and I think people are a bit overreacting, like, oh, the Chiefs are gonna I don't know if they're gonna be able to make it back. And I'm like, well, they did it in 2018. I think we need to stop sleeping on Patrick Mahomes. I know that sounds weird, but people are like saying, oh, I don't know if they're gonna be able to make it back because of how bad that defense is. And I'm like, well, they're one penalty snap away from doing it in 2018 in the AFC Championship against LA. They're one offsides penalty away from winning that game and going to the Super Bowl in 2018. So if there's any quarterback that can carry this shit bag of a defense to a Super Bowl, it's Patrick Mahomes. And I think people need to realize that. Like, Patrick Mahomes is still the best QB in the league, and it's not really close.
Yeah, the only thing that annoys me a little bit is I mean, it's just we already talked about it earlier how much people overreact after 1 week. Last week it's, oh my God, are the Chiefs going to make the playoffs? And this week I've heard people say, oh my God, the Chiefs offense is so unstoppable. Well, they're 2-2, so they're not unstoppable. Excuse me, but I just think that this team is going to be like a down to the last second in every game. It's going to be a one possession game in every game, simply because of the defense. We saw in week 2 and 3 when people locked down Tyreek Hill, and they had a lot of mishaps happen at the end of the game. Obviously, the Ravens and Chargers games, but the Eagles they're not that good of a football team. So the fact that you let them put up 30, I'm still a little bit worried. They're going to make the playoffs. They're going to be fine. But I can't comfortably.
I think they're still obviously going to make the playoffs. But the real question is now, are they better than Buffalo and are they better than Cleveland? They beat Cleveland.
They're not better than them, I don't think.
I don't know if they're better than Cleveland. I think Cleveland, I'd probably take KC over Cleveland. But Buffalo,
I'll definitely take Buffalo. Buffalo. I would probably take Cleveland too.
I think Cleveland's a debate, but I don't trust Baker Mayfield at all. I'm sorry, I don't trust Baker at all. And Buffalo has obviously not as good of a quarterback, but it's not like a huge, giant, monstrous gap like it is with Baker and Mahomes. Like, Josh Allen is still easily a top 5 quarterback in the league, and he has a really good case for being as good, if not better, than Russell Wilson. I don't think that, but I wouldn't hate it if you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cowboys, Panthers. I think that the Cowboys have easily proven that they are an actual good football team. They got to be top 10 in the power rankings right now. I think they are a damn lock to win that division.
Yes.
The defenses look really surprising. The offense looks like a top 5 offense. Zeke looks actually like a decent football player. It's a good team. Michael Parsons looks like a beast. Trevon Diggs looks like a beast, although he did get burnt last game, like we said. As for the Panthers, though, I know that there's going to be a lot of people calling them frauds because they didn't really beat any good teams before the Cowboys, but I still think this is a good football team. I think it's still a wild card contender team. I And they did this without McCaffrey. I mean, it was an 8-point loss to an actual probably contender without McCaffrey. DJ Moore, dude, is a beast.
I mean, yeah. Dallas is, in my opinion, the 5th best team in the AFC. I think they're number 5.
Who do you have above them?
I think the Cardinals, I think the Rams, I think the Bucks, I think the Packers are better. And then I would say Cowboys at 5. I think the Cowboys are better than the Niners. I think they're better than the Seahawks. I think they're better than the Saints. I think they're better than the Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
All those other teams. I think Cowboys are the 5th best team in the NFC. They have to win this division, dude. It's so easy. They have to win this division. Washington is bad.
They will.
The Giants aren't bad, but they're. I mean, the Giants are weird because they're okay, but the Giants are multiple. The Giants are 3 plays away from being 3-1. So I don't think they're bad. I don't think they're bad, but they're definitely not winning this division. And then Phil's not winning this division either. Cowboys, you have to win this division. It's right in front of you. Just go ahead and take it.
Yeah. I don't think they should have too much to worry about, barring another Dak injury. But
even then, shit.
Let's go to Seahawks 28, Niners 21. I'll let you take that.
Trey Lance made his debut. Came in the second half when Jimmy Garoppolo hurt his calf. I know there was, I don't know if you ever saw it, there was an update saying he'll be out for a few weeks. Well, another update just happened.
It said he could play Sunday.
It said he could play. Maybe. It depends how he's feeling on Wednesday, which is 2 days away. If he's feeling good on Wednesday, there's a very high chance that he plays, which I hope he does. I hope we play Jimmy G because we play the Niners next week. I hope we play Jimmy G because I'm not necessarily scared of Trey Lance. He's a rookie quarterback. Reminds me a little bit of Kyler, with his mobility. I'm not saying he is Kyler, but I think we kind of know how to guard those types of quarterbacks, considering we practice with one every single day of the week. I'm not really too scared of a rookie, but I definitely would rather play against Jimmy G, someone who's just not very good in general. But back to that game, my opinion still hasn't necessarily changed a ton. I still think the Niners are better than the Seattle Seahawks. Trey Lance plays the whole game. I bet he beats them. I mean, I really don't know what to say. The Seahawks had a nice win. Seahawk fans, you're not better than the Rams. Calm your ass down. You are not better than the Rams. Give me a break. I don't even know if we're better than the Rams, and we just beat them. You're not better than the Rams. You're not better than Arizona, and I think you're on the same tier as the Niners. I apologize. I'm sorry. Your defense is awful. Just admit it.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Rams will kick the Seahawks ass next week, especially coming off a loss.
Oh, they're so pissed off. I bet they're so pissed off.
But I don't panic about the Rams at all, people. I still think this is debatably it's a top 3 team in the league, 100%. I think they're
yes.
I'm still thinking, in my opinion, I really do still think they're the favorites in the NFC.
I would say, for current power rankings as of right now, I'd say Bills, I'd say Cardinals, I'd say Rams, I'd say Bucks, and then I would probably say Cleveland.
Yeah. But yeah, I think the Seahawks and the Niners are on the same tier. I think they're both going to be contending for the 6 and 7 seeds, because I think the division winners are going to be either the Rams or the Cardinals, and the other one's going to get the 5 seed. And you got the Cowboys, the Packers, and the Bucks. So you're going to be fighting for the 6 and 7 seed with probably the Panthers.
Maybe the Saints, maybe the Vikings. Yeah. And I know we're sleeping on the Vikings, whether I wouldn't completely count them out yet.
Yeah.
I don't. Maybe if Washington can somehow turn it around, maybe. Yeah. I'm just throwing out ideas at this point.
All right. Well, let's get over to your Cardinals-Rams game. Cardinals 37, Rams 20.
Kyler Murray for MVP, baby. Kyler Murray has been absolutely balling out right now. Second in the NFL in total touchdowns. Top. He's currently number 2 in total yards. he's going to be number 3 after this game because Derek Carr has been passing the ball about 45,000 times a game. So Carr will most likely pass him unless, knock on wood, he gets hurt, which obviously, knock on wood, hope he doesn't. No, I don't want any player to get hurt. But Kyler Murray right now has been absolutely balling, top 3 in total yards, top 2 in total touchdowns, leads the NFL in completion percentage. And the best part is we're not forcing the ball to DeAndre Hopkins. Kyler Murray is currently second in the NFL in passing yards, and not a single wide receiver has 300 yards. Not one. We have 4 wide receivers with over 200 yards receiving, and we have 6 people in total, either 6 or 7. I think it's 6. Let me count. 6. We have 6 total targets right now that have over 100 yards receiving. Like, you're going to be shocked by this. Who do you think leads our team in catches? Just take a guess. Who do you think?
AJ Green.
It's Chase Edmonds.
Let's go. He's on my fantasy team.
Who do you think leads our team in yards?
That's AJ Green.
That's AJ Green. AJ Green leads the Cardinals in yards. And who do you think leads in touchdowns?
I'm going to go. Well, I can't say Kyler, right? Or you're not talking about?
Well, yeah, like we're just total touchdowns outside of Kyler.
I'm going to go James Conner.
It is James Conner. Good job.
Really?
Now, who do you think? Yeah, who do you think is leading our team in receiving touchdowns?
Christian Kirk.
DeAndre Hopkins.
Okay.
And Christian Kirk is the only player on this team who's had 2 100-yard games. Like, we are so damn versatile with this book. We spread the ball out better than any team in the league, and I don't even think that's a debate. Like, DeAndre Hopkins is 3rd on this team in yards, and it's not that he's regressed. He's clearly not. But that's just how well we're spreading the football right now. That's how many weapons we have. Rondell Moore is an amazing yak guy who we can throw screen passes to. I mean, he's just a little beast. And then you got Christian Kirk, who's been great in the slot. AJ Green definitely doesn't look like AJ Green of old, but he's definitely lived up to the signing because PFF rated that signing the worst out of all free agency. He's definitely lived up to those expectations. And of course, you have DeAndre Hopkins. Kyler Murray has been playing unbelievable. And if they continue, he will be, in my opinion, unless Patrick Mahomes just goes crazy, or maybe Derek Carr continues to win. If Kyler continues this pace, in my opinion, he could be the anonymous MVP.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoy rooting for the Cardinals because of my offseason pick of Kyler at MVP. So it's like, really, I'm really proud of myself that's because that was kind of a dark horse, not really, but like.
Would you consider that a dark horse? I wouldn't.
It's no, I wouldn't say dark horse, but I don't think he was like a top 4 or 5 favorite. But it wasn't.
I mean, Mahomes, Brady, Allen, Lamar, Rodgers. So no.
Yeah, and Herbert, honestly, I think was picked more than Kyler, but
maybe, yeah. People.
So I still wouldn't say dark horse, like he was up there, but like. No, I got clowned for picking him as my MVP. Is I guess what I'm saying. Everyone's
really?
Like,
you got clowned for that?
Yeah, I mean not clown, but everyone's like, no, dude. Like, there's Mahomes, there's Allen, there's Rodgers. Like, why would you pick Kyler? But and also there's so many surprises on the Cardinals. There's AJ Green, there's Rondell Moore, there's honestly Edmonds and Connor have been a lot better than I thought they'd be. But I think the biggest surprise is just the overall success when Kingsbury. Because Kingsbury was horrible last year, but like, what the hell?
I, as a Cardinals fan who hated Cliff Kingsbury, who wanted him fired, who thought he was going to hold us back potentially from the playoffs, I got to tip my hat to him because he has been flat out unreal calling these plays. I mean, when your quarterback is second in the NFL in passing yards, and we're on week 4, by the way, this is week 4. When your quarterback is second in the NFL in passing yards and you don't have a single wide receiver with over 300 yards receiving, you are spreading the ball out very well, which means you have some good-ass play calling. And he just, I mean, there's not much I can say. He called a great game against Tennessee, called a good game against Minnesota, had a weird game against Jacksonville. That was a bit weird, but then showed up against LA and outcoached McVay. I mean, there's not much you can say. And obviously McVay is a top 5 head coach in the league, and he's clearly a better coach than Kingsbury is right now. But in that game, Kingsbury outcoached him, and I have to give credit to him because I genuinely thought he was going to get fired after this year.
Yeah. But like I said, Rams are going to be fine. Still an insane team, insane offense, insane defense.
I still think they're going to win this division. By the way,
I
I think they'll still win this division, even though we beat them, and I'm happy we did, of course. They're still, in my opinion, going to win this division. I still think they should be the favorites. Now, I do want people to say now that we are definitely playoff locks, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless Kyler gets hurt, but that's just kind of like that. Injuries, I think we're a playoff lock. But yeah, the Rams are still, in my opinion, going to win this division.
I agree. So let's go to Packers 27, Steelers 17. Rodgers is back to his normal form, but I don't even know why I started talking about the Packers first. The Steelers are horrible. They might have the worst offense in the league. Holy crap! Big Ben sucks.
Might. If Tyrod Taylor is starting for the Texans, the Steelers have the worst offense in the league.
Yeah, it's bad.
Big Ben is so bad, dude. When does he get benched? Do they? No.
That's what I'm saying.
No. That's not the question. The question is, does he get benched?
No, that's what I'm saying. Do they have the heart to bench their?
Do they have the gut? Do they have the balls to bench Big Ben?
I mean,
does he have the guts to accept it?
That's honestly like that'd be so bad, so horrible to see him go out like that. But that's on you, man. You should have retired. I think I knew you should have retired. Most people knew that. I think a lot of Steelers fans knew that. But man, he's been bad. Deontay Johnson, though, I've been super accurate about him. I think he's still one of the most underrated receivers in the league. I reached for him in like all my fantasy drafts, and I always got a bunch of crap from the guys in my league saying that's such a reach. He's like a 5th or 6th rounder. You took him in like the 4th. And I'm like, when this guy is healthy, when he plays, he's the most consistently good fantasy wide receiver. And in real life wide receiver too. He has been a dog, and hopefully he can avoid the injuries that he usually gets hurt like once a game. Like he's always getting hurt, but hopefully he can avoid that, because I think he could be a Pro Bowl type receiver if he can actually keep playing.
No, I agree. I mean, I agree with you.
All right, let's go to your Ravens Broncos game, 23-7 Ravens. I'll let you take that.
This is why I'm glad Tailgate's on here. Well, actually, I technically, even though I said the Broncos would win, I don't know if I actually should have said that. Because I kind of thought in the back of my mind, this is kind of a weird game for Denver. They don't really match up well against Baltimore, who's a run-first team. They're more of a pass defensive team. And they're not necessarily bad defending the run. They're just so much better at defending the pass. I thought this was kind of a weird game for Denver. Teddy got hurt, so Locke will be coming in unless Teddy's cleared to play next week with his concussion. We'll see what happens. But if Locke does start, I'm pretty sure even with Drew Lock, they're going to beat the Steelers. Can't be that hard. I still have faith in Denver. I still think they're a playoff contender. Their defense has still not disappointed me. Against the pass, they have not disappointed me at all. Good job. The Ravens are a good football team. I really don't know what to say. I kind of figured that they would win this game. I just kind of picked the Broncos just for the hell of it, even though my original prediction, like before the season started, I said Denver would lose this game. I still think Denver's going to be fine. It's going to be weird, though, with this division, because this division is tough. Like, I don't think it's better than the West, but I think it's a worse version of the West where it's kind of a toss-up. Like, I mean, we kind of have, like, an idea of who's going to win it. Like, the Chiefs are probably going to win it. And same with like, the NFC West. Like, I'm pretty sure the Rams are probably going to win it. But, like, after that, I mean, who fucking knows? Like, yeah. I mean, especially, I think it's more confusing for the AFC, because I think we can kind of have an idea about who's the best and who's the worst in the NFC West. Like, I think we can kind of tell at this point the Cardinals and the Rams are just above the Niners and the Seahawks. But with the AFC West, we don't know what the fuck is going on except for the Chiefs. Like, are the Chargers like the second best team? Are the Raiders the second best team? Is Denver like who the fuck knows? I think if the Raiders win tonight, I'm gonna say the Raiders. But if the Chargers win, I don't even know. It's an entire mess right now. I don't know what's going on, but I still think Denver's gonna be fine. They're gonna beat the Steelers next week. They'll get back on track. The schedule was easy enough for them to make the playoffs. I'm still riding high on the Denver train.
I would say my opinion about Denver hasn't changed,
No.
but just like so they should beat the Steelers next week. Steelers aren't a very good football team. But if Teddy misses more time, they got the Raiders and the Browns after that, which are some tough matchups. But if you look at their schedule, they have to play the Cowboys, the Browns, and then the Chiefs twice, the Raiders twice, the Chargers twice. Those are all some tough games. I'm not sure if they are going to be able to get enough wins for being in the playoffs. I do say I would like to see another game or two with Teddy at least before I form a real opinion on him. But I don't think they're frauds by any means or anything. Like I said last week, the way they've been handling teams. I don't know how they're going to be with Drew Lock, but with Teddy, I do think they are technically wild card contenders. But by looking at their division and the schedule, I don't know that I see them being a wild card team. But I don't know. All right. Yeah. Let's go to the last game. The Patriots, 17 bucks, 19.
This game was a lot closer than I thought it would be. I genuinely believe the pressure hit Brady. Like, I'm pretty sure the pressure hit him. Like, he was missing some pretty open throws consistently because this season he's been pretty accurate, especially in game one. Against the Patriots, he was kind of missing some wide open throws. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Pretty sure he overthrew Mike Evans twice, which is like, how do you overthrow Mike Evans? Like, that's pretty difficult. But no, Bucks won the game though. The rain sold on them, but also if they would have made the field goal, Tampa Bay had 30 seconds left with 2 timeouts. All they needed was a field goal. Brady probably would have done his thing again. But good win by the Bucks. It was a hard fought victory in the rain. Yeah, I'm trying not to make this all about Bill Belichick and Brady. I'm just glad there weren't comments everywhere on Instagram and TikTok and Twitter like, this is why Bill Belichick got carried by Tom Brady. Like, no one carried anybody. Like, I'm so glad there weren't comments like that because I had a feeling because nobody's gonna hate on Brady. I just believe like nobody's gonna hate on Brady if he loses this game, but people are gonna smack Belichick if Brady won, and I just kind of figured that, but nobody did, and maybe it was because it was a close game.
Yeah, I'm definitely I agree. I'm glad I didn't hear that, but I really do feel like the normal consensus opinion of the Belichick Brady thing is pretty accurate. I think everyone knows that they both had a huge part in it. Maybe there's obviously some delusional people out there, but for the most part, people know what they're talking about with that. I don't know. Maybe I haven't been up in the comments about that stuff, so never mind. But I posted a video, and it's not just because of this game. And I'm not saying they're not a good team, but I really do think the Bucks are a tad bit overrated, not by everyone, but just by the people that think they're by far the best team or even second best team. They have the best roster in the NFL. They're unstoppable. They have the best offense in the league, a top 3 defense. I think that they're obviously Super Bowl contenders. You could probably make a case that they're favorites, even though I think the Rams are better. But looking at other teams, actually, I'll start with they played 4 games. They're 3-1. They're also one play away in each of these games from losing them. They're a pass interference call, a missed pass interference call against the Cowboys away from losing that game. Why am I blanking? Who did play week 2 and 3?
Week 2,
they got railed by the Rams.
Week 2, they beat down Atlanta pretty hard.
Yeah, but also about that game, they let Atlanta hang around way too long.
No, yeah, the Bucks
They
secondary
let a
is
horrible offense put up 25 points, which is, it's not like they put up 35, but
no, the Bucks secondary is very, very concerning. And I know we
yeah.
said the same thing last year, but you could argue that the secondary is playing worse this year than it did last year.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I think they are. Um, and I think the lack of run game in secondary could hurt them. I know everyone's just saying, it's regular season, they'll turn it around in the playoff. It's Tom Brady, he always does. And I know they've had injuries too. I just and I'm not even this isn't an important opinion because I think they're obviously Super Bowl contenders. But I just look at their first 4 games and I look at the other teams, the Packers, the Cowboys, the Rams, and the Cardinals are all 4 teams I think are capable of beating them in the playoffs even. So no, I'm not saying move the Bucks way down in your rankings. I'm just saying they're not this big daddy freaking number one, best roster, best offense, best defense. They're just a really good team, I guess.
I agree.
Yeah, I guess that's what I have to say. But yeah, so that wraps up all the other games. Raiders and Chargers are going on now.
Yeah, it's on right now. About to be the first play of the game. So yeah, we're gonna go watch that.
Everyone go roast tailgate in the comments. Tell them how much better these are without him.
Oh yeah, he sucks.
All right. We will catch you boys later.